Hi, I'm Tola Owens.
And I'm Danita Hayes.
And we're your hosts for Women of Wisdom. On today's show, we have candidate Jerrauld Jay Jones, who is the candidate for the 89th seat for the House of Delegates for the city of Norfolk. We were wowed by his presence on our show. He definitely is very well versed on the knowledge of politics, on what the city of Norfolk needs, as well as the citizens here. So we definitely encourage you to leave a comment, to share the video, to like, and to make sure you go and vote June 13th for Jerrauld Jay Jones for the 89th seat of the House of Delegates.
Sit back and enjoy.
Yes.
Welcome back. We are here today with a wonderful guest, Mr. Jay Jones. He is a candidate for the delegate seat, and we are super excited that he decided to stop by today and join us for our show.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you're running for the 89th?
Yes, here in Norfolk. It starts in Berkeley and goes out to Rosemont and to Larchmont. It's very big,
awesome.
But only Norfolk, no Portsmouth, no Chesapeake, no Virginia Beach.
Oh, okay, okay. You want to make sure we need you over in Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Suffolk, Hampton. We need you everywhere. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you, kind of go into this realm of politics and everything.
Sure. Well, I love this city. I was born and raised here. My family has been here for 3 generations, and we have a deep love for Norfolk. And it seems like this is the right time for youthful leadership. No one sort of expected this vacancy to happen, and when it did, people came to me and they said, "Jay, we think you do a really good job." And it's a role that I think that I could excel in and would represent our city very well in. And so that's why I'm running. We're running to create opportunity for everyone, not just some. Where this is an inclusive community, and we want to make sure that everyone's voice is heard and represented in Richmond.
Oh, okay, absolutely. So what is your history as far as, getting to this point? I know you have an extensive history leading all the way back to your grandfather.
Sure.
And he was kind of the reason that you decided to pursue.
Yes, my grandfather is the light of my life. Yes, he was born in Huntersville here in 1918.
I know,
oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah, he went to Booker T for high school.
Wow.
Went to Virginia State for undergrad, then went to Boston University for law school. There you go, exactly. That's where he met my grandmother. And they were married a very long time ago. But he became a lawyer. He was here in town, and then he got involved in public service. He was a civil rights pioneer, but then he was appointed to the school board here in Norfolk in 1963. The first black person to achieve that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very proud of that. And then in 1969, he was appointed to the State Board of Education, also the first black person to achieve that.
Wow.
And his sort of example guides me every day. He's the reason why I wanted to become a lawyer. He's the reason why I'm involved in public service. Not for nothing, my father held this same seat from 1988 to 2002. But those two people, along with my mother, I know you guys are women of wisdom. Strong women make everything, for me. But that's why, part of the reason why I'm getting involved in public service is a family legacy. But I think that Norfolk is ready for young leadership, and I think that I have been well prepared over the course of my life. I went to William & Mary for undergraduate. I went to the University of Virginia for law school. I'm a practicing attorney here in town. I go to St. Mary's in Tidewater Park. We are involved in the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Virginia. There are a lot of things that we've done here in this community over the course of our lives that really sort of make us well equipped to do this role.
So if you are elected, can you just tell us, what are your plans for the city?
Sure. I mean, as I've been traveling around the district over the last few months, there are a couple of things that I hear about so often. The biggest thing is education. People say, well, what are you going to do about the school system? How are you going to help our children? And to me, that's important because the children are our future. Absolutely. And if we don't invest in them, we're not going to go anywhere. So for me, the biggest thing I'd like to see us do is adopt universal pre-K for everybody for free. I think that if we can invest in our children at that age, you really even out the opportunity for everybody, right? Some people start here, some people start here. We want to even it out. That's the biggest thing for me. I also want to make sure that we recruit and retain the best teachers possible. I've had so many conversations with teachers who say, well, I'm going to go to Virginia Beach, or I'm going to go to Chesapeake, or I'm going to go to Suffolk because they pay more. or they feel safer. For me, if we invest in our teachers, that's an investment in our children.
Absolutely.
We want to give them the best class atmosphere possible. Then we also want to make sure that we have diverse curricula. So I'm talking about vocational and technical training opportunities for our children, not just the traditional sort of chair, chalkboard mode that we're all familiar with. And then at the higher education level, I went to 2 public schools in state, which everyone says, oh my goodness, that must be so cheap. It's not. College is very, very expensive,
Yes,
and we want to make sure that for those who do want to go to college, that it's affordable.
I have a daughter in college right now. It's very expensive.
Yeah, right. And we want to make sure that no one is burdened with student loans for the rest of their lives, because that's not fair, and that sort of makes it very difficult to get a job. And so for us, jobs are also an important thing. We want to make sure that we are creating and fostering small businesses, helping entrepreneurs, because starting a small business is very hard. We want to put resources in place where people know what to do and how to go about that. We want to make sure that businesses are coming to Norfolk to open their doors, to hire people at living wages. I mean, do you guys know what the minimum wage is here right now in Virginia?
Is it like
$9?
$7.25?
That's right, okay, and $7.25 an hour, right.
Real wrong.
And if you work a minimum wage job, over the course of 1 year, you only earn $14,000 a year, which we can't really live on. I'd like to see us raise the minimum wage to $15, and that's something that the state legislature controls, and that's something that I am very passionate about. I'd also like to see equal work for equal pay. Men and women should be getting paid the same thing for doing the same job. There's no reason that we should have this pay disparity, and that's something we've got to put an end to. And so jobs and education are the 2 really important things that I see addressing when I'm in Richmond if I'm elected. But the third thing is really criminal justice reform. I'm a lawyer. I see this system every single day. It does not treat people the same. It is not fair. We want to make sure that we are leveling the playing field in the eyes of the justice system. And that really begins with our sentencing guidelines, so that people of color are treated the same way as people who are not of color. And we want to make sure that we are restoring the voting rights of our felons automatically.
Absolutely.
Once you get out of prison and you pay your fines and court costs, you should be able to vote automatically.
Absolutely.
You can't deny people that right, and that's the biggest right that we have. And people died so that we could have that right. And we want to make sure that we are using that to the fullest.
So give us your area again, because we just want to make sure people of Norfolk, this is why it is so important for you to go out and vote in your local elections. Tell us your area again.
Sure. The 89th district starts in Berkeley, and it cuts up through Norfolk to Rosemont, out by Rosemont Middle School, and it cuts over Little Creek Road as the northern boundary over to Larchmont and back down Hampton Boulevard. So if you live in that triangle, you'll be voting for me, Jerrauld Jay Jones, on June 13th, 2017 in the Democratic primary.
Yes.
June 13th.
June 13th, guys. So come out and vote for Jerrauld Jay Jones.
Thank you.
I do have one more question
Sure.
for you. So what are you going to do for our country when you become president?
I would settle for being a delegate first. I don't want to think too far ahead. We've got a very competitive primary, and we're working hard. We are knocking on every door. We are out every afternoon and on Saturdays and Sundays. We are doing the things that we need to do to put ourselves in place to be successful. I'm very proud of the campaign that we're running. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I'm going to be honest with you. I've got a great team involved as well.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful, and I really do think that we're going to be successful on June 13th.
Absolutely.
Well, we are very proud of you.
Thank
Keep
you.
doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it. Love to see young black men out in the community doing something very, very positive. So
Well, we're trying, and thank you for the opportunity to sit down with you guys and chat. This has been a wonderful, wonderful time.
thank you
I want
so
you to
much.
tell them how old you are.
I turned 28 2 weeks ago.
28. And there's some of y'all 58 that haven't even, but I'm going to leave that alone. But thank you so much for everything that you're doing for us, for stepping in this role at such a young age. It's a lot of responsibility. It's going to be a lot of weight on you, but I want you to know that you have our support.
Thank you.
We're definitely going to keep pushing that June 13th
Thank you.
agenda so that we can get you in that 89 seat.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about the community. It's about the folks who don't have voices. We're
There
going to
you
give
go.
voices to the voiceless to make sure that everyone is heard. That's why we're knocking on every single door.
Yes.
And thank you again for the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please
And
come back.
Thank you.
Please
and if
come
you
back.
direct people to the website, it's www.jjones.vote.
All right.
That vote, you hear that? Not just the president. This is what's important. The delegate seat. You got to understand, those all coincide. A lot of us just go and vote for the presidency, and we leave this seat neglected, and then we can't get bills passed in the House. So make sure that you go out on June 13th. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We are back, and we hope that you enjoyed the wonderful interview with Jerrauld Jay Jones today. He really enlightened us and educated us on all of the issues that we need to go out and vote on June the 13th. It is very important for you to make sure that you vote in your local elections, because that's really where change takes place. And before we leave you today, we want to leave you with a word of wisdom. Our word for today is believe. Believe in yourself, believe in God, and believe that you can do whatever it is that God has called you to do. Align your thoughts with His thoughts, and align your ways with His ways, because He has major plans for your life. And all you have to do is get on the same path with Him, get to know Him, and He will direct your path.
Amen. Make sure you believe that you are worthy. You are worthy of whatever comes your way. Don't second guess God's blessings. Don't second guess His determination to move you forward in your life. When God says no, that is a blessing. And denial is belief that there is something else better for you. So make sure you believe, whether it's denial or whether it's a blessing. Make sure you search for God in everything you do, but believe that He has your back, He loves you, and He wants to see you succeed.
Absolutely.
Amen. We see you next time.